So one of our main initiatives has been increasing the transparency of SGA, and we feel that one of the most feasible ways in order to do this and to really implement this on campus is to have student panels from organizations that are already a part of campus that also overlap with the ideologies of certain departments in SGA. For example, SGA Department of Multicultural Affairs and Diversity has a lot of overlap with different cultural organizations on campus as well as LGBTQIA groups. We believe that it would be very easy to have some of the leaders from these groups become actual members of SGA rather than the cliche everyone is a part of SGA saying. This would incentivize them to act, to update us on everything that they do in their groups, and to make it so that it's less of a favor system between SGA and organizations on campus. A lot of the times they approach SGA wanting to get money for events, and it seems like that's the only real kind of communication that we have with them all year. And it's very disappointing and something that we'd like to change.
So one of the things we really want to work on is the faith that students have in SGA and the transparency that we want SGA to have. And of course, that's something that we all want. But I believe that Kelly and I have the most outreach when it comes to students, and we have the ability and capability to do this. And one of the things we want to do is work on one of the departments, leadership development, and what that looks like. We want to possibly look into renaming the department and what their goals are. And one of the things that we actually currently are working on is a student body meeting that allows for all student orgs to meet once a month or twice a month to share their ideas and whatnot, and collaborate with their events and what things that are going on. Sorry, I'll say a lot, but.
So one thing that as Vice President I would really like to do is make this position more of a community liaison position, and by so doing have the departments, the Finance Board, and the Senate out on Main Street or out in the breezeway tabling and making sure that the student body knows what initiatives are coming up, what orgs are coming up to get funding, so that way people can attend these meetings. Finance Board meetings and Senate meetings have a lack of participation. Only people that need to be there show up, but they're actually fascinating meetings, and it's where a lot of the bulk work that happens in SGA gets done. So by making the agenda available to students can come in at a certain time and know what they're talking about, and they can come in for things that they're passionate about rather than having to sit through a 3 to 5 hour meeting.
Right. Well, this discretion is a very important part of the executive position, and so I think that this discretion would be best exercised if we just completely dissolve all the positions in SGA and just make one SGA dictator. Just get rid of president, get rid of vice president, just make a dictator, and they can just have all the power. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Actually, I think that I wouldn't do many changes to the SGA executive structure. I think that one thing I would do though is perhaps get a liaison between SGA and SCB, so we can get some artists like Quad Mania that I think students would have a little more fun attending. I think there's been some recent dissatisfaction with the artists that we've been choosing for Quad Mania. So I'll just get a liaison of fun or a liaison of entertainment between SCB and SGA, so that there can be some mutual accountability on that, and then we can get somewhat more fun for Quad Mania.
Each ticket has 30 seconds to use as a rebuttal. Do we have someone who wants to rebut?
So, sorry, I'm not using the mic. When it comes to SEB, we actually go through a very stringent process when it comes to that. We actually have input from the student body, and we go off of that. It's very difficult to find artists who are willing to play in the gym and willing to pay for the budget that we have. But SEB puts their heart and their soul into what they do, and I know that as a part of SEB. So I think that it's unfair and it's unrealistic to assume that we're going to get someone like Beyonce or someone like, as you said this morning, Soulja Boy at Quad Mania. It's not feasible for our campus. If you allocated more money to SEB from SGA, then maybe we could look into getting someone more popular. But we think Kesha was a very good choice.
Your time is up. Thank you. Do we have another rebuttal?
Yeah, so we were actually a little concerned about one thing. You said, to Anthony actually, you said that you were mentioning a more intimate partnership between SEB and SGA. SEB and SGA are also humongous organizations on campus. Do you feel that this would marginalize smaller groups on campus at all? Or how would you plan on working with them better between SGA and these smaller groups?
I'm sorry, we're not using the time to question each other, but you can, how much time do they use? You have 15 seconds to make a rebuttal to what they've said.
We just felt that it was marginalizing small organizations on campus.
Anthony, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal if you choose to use it.
Soldier Boy for Quad Mania 2016. That is all.